Dunkin' Donuts is facing a lawsuit from lactose intolerant customers who are calling them discriminatory, basically saying that they have to pay more for non-dairy milk alternatives. So is Dunkin' Donuts being intolerant, or is this just a case of crying over spilled milk? We'll find out today in the Damage Report Court. Okay, so let me lay out the details. Dunkin' Donuts, or they want you to just call them Dunkin', but I grew up with Dunkin' Donuts. I'm never gonna be able to move on from that, is facing a $5 million class action lawsuit from a group of 10 different plaintiffs from across the US who've accused the coffee giant of charging an extra 50 cents to $2.15 extra for non-dairy milk alternatives in drinks. The lawsuit says it is medically necessary for persons like plaintiffs to avoid consuming drinks that contain milk. Plaintiffs will suffer adverse health effects if they ingest milk or milk-containing products, including stomach pain, digestive tract inflammation, bloating, bowel irregularities, and vomiting. And so they explain that the company doesn't charge extra for things like, for instance, caffeine-free drinks for people with conditions like hypertension. Additionally, it removes sugar or uses sugar-free alternatives with no extra cost for customers with diabetes. The idea is, for other people who can't consume things, whether it's caffeine or sugar, they make accommodations that cost nothing extra. But for those who are lactose intolerant, they do not. So they are looking for money, obviously. So I want to turn it now to Justice Adrienne. What do you think about this? Is Dunkin' guilty for charging extra for oat, soy, almond milk, and the like?
I would say that Dunkin' is not guilty. And I say that in part because as a company, as a business, it has to do what's in its business's best interests. And I do understand that certain people have certain needs. Fortunately, we do have the Americans with Disabilities Act. We have various protections out there that make businesses have to comply and create more inclusive spaces. And that is great. At the same time, there has to be somewhat of a limit because businesses cannot continue to exist economically if they have to provide each and every different alternative, as opposed to if you have certain preferences because your body functions a particular way. For example, I don't like certain aspects of dairy. I'm okay with paying more for soy milk or for almond milk, or just taking my business elsewhere.
Yeah, the interesting thing here is, well, first of all, I'm not entirely sure, is being lactose intolerant considered a disability under?
I don't think it is, no, not at all.
Now, it could be that maybe they want this to be part of what could become a larger, case that could have that be added, maybe. So we'll see with that. But these sorts of accommodations theoretically could help people who have that arguable disability, but they also are things that just lots of people might do for preference. So how exactly do you need to be checking to make sure that people are getting this no cost added accommodation if they have but not if it's a preference? So that seems a little bit odd to me. The thing here is, it obviously does cost extra for them to have a variety of milks. Having a refrigerator that has 5 different types of milk is gonna cost more than having just the one. But that milk itself doesn't necessarily cost more than the dairy milk. It's just having the different options that creates the problem. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to Justice Twitch first, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think. Is Dunkin' Donuts discriminating against the allergic? We asked our Twitch audience this, and as of right now, no. Different products, different prices is at 73%. So they agree with you. Making me largely unimportant for this, but I will still give you my thoughts. I think what will end up happening is that they will end up not charging extra for the non-dairy alternatives. The way that will work is everyone will pay more. I think they're just gonna raise the cost and you can get whatever milk you want. Now, the thing for me is it really comes down to amount, because if it's 25 cents or whatever so that I can get oat milk, I'll pay that every time. But if it's $2, that seems exploitative. That seems like too much. So I would want to see the breakdown of exactly which one costs and where, how much more. But I think in the end, what we will have is everyone will pay a little bit more and you'll get to choose whatever you want, and they'll stock all the milks and everyone will be happy. Maybe. Yeah. So I'm going to rule with both Twitch and Adrienne. I think they're not guilty, but a change probably should still come.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Will come. And I should say Dunkin' Donuts pulled 1.4 billion last year. So I'd like to think they're fine, but you're absolutely right. They're going to raise the prices for everyone.
Damn, there's a lot of money in Munchkins. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.